Yes, and let's give our drummers a round of applause. We had Finn and Will playing drum solos there on that one, as well as the wood trio, Micah and Megan and Abby. And they came to me and they said, can we play a solo on these giant pieces of wood? And I was like, yes. Because everybody can solo, right?
That's right.
Everybody can improvise. So there you go. Let's see. Our next one is Basin Street Blues. And so in this one, we had 4 measure solos, I think. Yes, okay. Mayor says yes. 4 measure solos. And also, after they solo, feel free to applaud them and let them know that you liked it. Because that's what we do in jazz. We show our appreciation right away. So here is Basin Street Blues. Let me get where's my list? Who's gonna solo? Sometimes we totally make it up as we go along, but for today, they wanted a little more certainty. So I printed it out. So we will have O'Meara on the tenor, Parker on the trumpet, Liam on the clarinet, Milo on the trumpet, Trinity on trumpet, and Isaac on alto saxophone. So here is Basin Street Blues. soloist. One more round of applause. You might also notice, so I mentioned O'Meara switching instruments, and we also had another flute player jump up and grab a bass. We started our year off with no bass players. And I said, all right, so who wants to learn how to play the bass? And believe it or not, we have more than just the two of them. We're just not playing all of those songs today. So we've got some waiting. So you'll have to come see us in the spring to see a couple more bass players. They're just springing up all over the place. So I want to before we play our last piece here. I wish I could just. This is really fun. Just stay here all evening. We got a few more. No, we don't. Okay. I want to thank a few people for helping to make all of this happen, because it doesn't just happen. It takes lots and lots of work. So I want to thank Chris Bussman was here and announced our session. And I don't know if we have any other administrators here, but I want to thank our Farmington administration and our school board for the support that they give us for all of our music endeavors. So can we give them a round of applause? And this year, especially, we've been working on a lot of solos because I knew this was going to happen, and every year I have help from many of my music colleagues that come and work with these kids and share their expertise, because we all have our own strengths. And so I know I see Mr. Briska and Ms. Holmes in the house, and I want to thank them for the work they did with my students this year. And I don't know if Mr. Miller is here. I think he had to go home already, but we had a guest conductor come in at our concert in November, and he worked with the kids on soloing and standing up and doing that. So I thank him as well. And then I have some of my middle school colleagues are over here handing out programs and taking photos, and thank you very much, Ms. Miklich and Ms. Banyan, and Ms. Smithby as well, and Mr. Morissette. And then, of course, we have a rather tall trombone player in the middle of the band that I feel like I have to acknowledge what's happening there. So, Mr. Lasko, it works with me every day and puts up with all of the things I come up with, and he says, all right, we'll figure that out. And as we were planning this, we discovered that there is a swim meet today, JV Champs. And we work really hard to make sure that our kids are able to do all the things they want to do. We've got kids in Lego League and swimming and various sports, church activities, and we try to make sure that they are able to do all of those things and still be part of the music program. And sometimes there are conflicts that are unavoidable, like JV Champs. So we were missing, and I had no idea that most of the trombone section were swimmers. News, and a saxophone player. So we're missing today a saxophone player and a couple of trombone players who is also, one was going to play bass on this next song. So Mr. Lasko decided, or he was told, voluntold, he was granted the opportunity to play trombone for us. So can we give him a round of applause? He also made sure all of these fine students got on the bus this afternoon and got them here so that I could be here at the convention and watch my own daughter play in her ensemble. So I appreciate him very, very much, and I want to be sure he knows. Thank you. All right, I'm almost done. I have to thank all of the parents. I look out here and I see lots and lots of familiar faces, and I was really, really scared last night. I was like, I don't know, we're gonna be playing for myself. I wasn't sure. So I really thank you all for coming here on Saturday afternoon. After the snow last night, I was like, oh. But you get them to school, make sure they have what they need, and you support them in their music making. And that encouragement and support and showing up at their concerts is the greatest indicator of whether or not they're going to keep playing. And so it's really up to you. And when you support them and encourage them and say, hey, that was a good solo. You played that song, I like that song. That means, I know they're 13, 14, and they're like, they'll roll their eyes at you. But it means a lot to them. It means a lot to them. So keep saying it, keep doing it, keep bringing them. Keep buying them reeds. Please keep buying them reeds. I think we broke 3 getting from the practice room to this room. Yeah. Right, okay. So, thank you. And last but not least, thank you to all these musicians. They show up every day. They show up every morning ready to play. Even when I'm not ready to play. Like, should we take a day off? No! Seven Nation Army, we're doing it. So they are ready, and I can walk out of the room and they just keep on playing. So I do try to get them out before the bell rings, but it doesn't always happen. Yeah, we try. So I thank you all for I already told them this before we started. I am so incredibly proud of them because this is way out of our comfort zone to come up here and play it at this state convention. So it's a big deal, and they should be proud of themselves. Can we give another round of applause? All right, now I talk too much. So we've got one more song for you this afternoon. Along with all of the soloing, and you heard some classic, jazz standard tunes today. I always try to add in a little bit of fun, a little bit of something that they already, they're like, oh, that's cool, I know that song, and I want to learn how to play it. And this one I barely have to teach it because they come in. They all wanted to play bass on Seven Nation Army. I'm not gonna lie. So we add in those rock tunes as we can, and we kind of try to give them a little bit of a jazz flair to them. But you're gonna recognize it. So there aren't any solos in this one, but really I think they're all soloing on this in their hearts. So we're gonna have Micah start us off, right? Okay, and I'm just gonna get out of the way. Here we go, Seven Nation Army.